Good afternoon. We're so glad you've joined with us today. I'm Brooke Tafoya. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for New Day Youth and Family Services, and we're standing in our Youth Peer Drop-In Center, our newest addition into our service array. We wish we could all be here together. We wanted to share this space with you, but one thing we've all learned is how we have to adapt. We've tried to put together something for you so you can not only see and hear, but also feel what it's like for young people to experience support and service, both here in the Drop-In Center and in other locations across the city. Now, it is time to start. We hope you enjoy the journey.
Thank you, Brooke, and welcome. My name is Gabriella Chapman, and I'm the Community Connections Director here at New Day. Most of us are familiar with the saying, if you build it, they will come. And here at New Day, as we opened our doors to the Drop-In Center in our very own building, we experienced the truth in that statement. While we've been in operation with our Drop-In Center in various capacities since 2019, it's been in the last 10 months that we've seen the most impact. 255 youth, to be exact. But what we are doing here is not so much about what we've built. It's about the relationships we are nurturing, the community we are building, and the lives we are helping to grow. The Peer Drop-In Center, known to our youth as The Space, has been thoughtfully and intentionally designed. First, we are centrally located in the heart of the International District, at the intersection of San Mateo and Central. This provides easy access for our youth via public transportation, and some even walk or bike to the Drop-In Center. Secondly, we're low barrier. And what that means is that outside of the requirement for age, 16 to 22 years old, there are little to no requirements for youth to access the Drop-In Center and the resources that we provide. And speaking of resources, the Drop-In Center was created to be a one-stop shop for our young people. Currently, youth have access to meals, free Wi-Fi, housing, job, and education resources, clothing and hygiene products, and a place to find respite and be a part of community. As we complete our construction, we are looking forward to adding a fully stocked kitchen, showers, and a laundry facility. The addition of these amenities will help us to better meet the variety of needs and decrease the barriers and obstacles that many of our youth are currently facing. As an agency, we collect data to measure for the social determinants of health for our young people. These refer to the conditions that impact their health, their livelihood, quality of life, and various risk factors. In our reports, our youth reported housing, behavioral health, food insecurity, and transportation as their top concerns. Here at the Drop-In Center and within New Day, that is exactly what we focus on addressing as we collaborate with our community partners and work to bring resources to the youth. We just touched on a little bit of what we do, but more importantly is how we do it. Because people can gather around what you've built and the services that you provide, but it's how you treat them and the relationships that you build with them that will get them to stay, return, and to slowly start building those aspects of trust that lead to greater relationship. When youth walk through our doors, they attest to feeling truly seen for the first time. Here at the Drop-In Center, youth experience an authentic sense of belonging. They are invited to be a part of community that accepts them just as they are, embracing their uniquenesses and their quirks. For many of our youth, the relationships that they build with our staff are the first positive adult connection that they've had probably their whole lives. Our staff support them in meeting their goals, empowering them to advocate for their needs, and reimagining their futures. Youth are held accountable for their behavior while also being supported in meeting their goals. We are here to believe and support them in their greatest aspirations for themselves. Finally, we have never had greater access to youth than we do right now. While we support youth that are involved in child protection services and in the juvenile justice system, we are also here for youth that just need connection and guidance. Recently, I was listening to a panel. The panelists were women who had begun redirecting their lives after coming out of prison with the help of a key agency. Each woman expressed the sentiment that if they had just had the access to these resources, support, and guidance when they started getting in trouble, that their lives might never have taken the turns that they did. That is what we're hoping for our youth. Right now, Albuquerque has one of the highest rates of adult homelessness. What we offer at the Drop-In Center and through our other New Day programs are early intervention and prevention for our young people that can help to interrupt the cycles of youth homelessness. Our hope is that with access to the resources, the community, and the support from people who truly believe in our young people, that they won't become one of those adult statistics. This is what we're inviting you to be a part of, supporting Albuquerque's dynamic, resilient, courageous youth. And speaking of, let's hear from a few of them right now.
My name is Chris and I am 22 years old.
My name is Roy and I'm 19.
My name is Mariana and I'm 22 years old.
I was like 14, 15 and I was homeless and needed a place to stay, so I went to the New Day shelter.
I was kind of going through a rough time, a rough patch with finding a living situation. I was leaving from my childhood home and I wanted to get into something that was more independent.
I had a kid and I had nowhere to go, so having New Day just come in and reassure me that me and my daughter were gonna have a safe space to sleep at night. It was very emotional. It was very emotional.
I've improved the most with the transitional living program because I didn't have anything like at all whenever I first came to the TLP. Just by them giving me a chance, just an opportunity to get my life together, it helped me out, you know.
Before I got into the program, I was kind of closed off. Like I didn't really know the kind of person that I wanted to be and what kind of goals and aspirations I wanted to work on. And so even knowing that I had a community to go to that was safe and welcoming, I felt like I was at home. Like I felt like I belonged somewhere, and I had never really felt like that before.
They gave me a home, gave my daughter a home, and I was able to graduate high school. And now I'm going to college and I'm majoring in criminal justice, so I'm excited.
I didn't like it at first when I got there because it was outside of my comfort zone, but like it didn't take long before I was like, you know, I kind of warmed up to the place and actually enjoyed my time there.
Having the support system I've never had was overwhelming, but like in such a good way. Like I was always like, why are they in my business? And like, why are they making sure I'm okay? It's been 2 days. It was really odd for me, but after a while it was good. It was like, I want them to check up on me. I need them to check up on me, so yeah.
From the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you for having this program available for people that, you know, need to get their lives together or are working on themselves or need to have that moment where they realize that, you know, they are human and that there's time where you need to actually, you know, be able to just work on stuff that you don't really want to face in the real world because it's difficult to comprehend that you've been through that stuff. So I would just like to say, you know, thank you for giving me that moment of happiness that I needed, that made me feel like I belong somewhere.
I am always so moved by the voices of our young people. I've learned that if I listen well enough, they are always teachers for me. Hello, my name is Steve Johnson. Until a few months ago, I was CEO of New Day and had been for the past 12 years. And right now I want to say thank you to all of you who supported New Day over those years and who supported me. It was one of the true honors and pleasures of my life. When I started many years ago, I planned on staying just a few months to help them find a new director. But something captured me about this place, and I couldn't leave. As I started this new adventure, I made a decision to approach the work differently. I wanted to listen more than I talked. I wanted to learn more than I taught. And in that process, I really did learn several really important things. The first and probably most important lesson was that young people didn't need to be fixed. The way I approached much of my previous social services work, and the way much of social services is practiced, is to surround people with many services that hopefully can repair their brokenness. At New Day, as I listened more deeply, I realized something. These young people aren't broken, though they may have had their hearts broken open over the years. But they are still whole in their unique way, fully alive, creative, and wanting to engage the world. This led to my second realization. In order to tap this potential, we had to create an environment that was both physically and emotionally safe, where young people were seen and recognized for just who they were right now, where their true gifts and spirits were lifted up and empowered, and where through our community we strengthened what needed to be strengthened, so they could fundamentally count on not us, but ultimately themselves. And it is from this foundation that young people can come back into the world, back into the community, and back fully into themselves. And this led to my third realization, that New Day needed to become this place. We needed to become more than a cluster of services, but a community where young people could belong. Now, social services typically do a bad job of this. So to succeed, we needed a team of leaders who understood what we were building. Fortunately, 8 years ago, that person emerged. A partner joined me on this quest, who became the Chief Program Officer. A partner who had the skills and the vision to see what was both possible and what was needed to make this vision into a reality. Her name was Brooke Tafoya. It is an honor and a pleasure to hand the reins of agency leadership over to her. And because of her and all the support we received from people like you, New Day has a bright future, and because of that, our young people have a bright future too. So we have spoken about this powerful community and this movement, and now it's time for you to get more fully introduced. You have seen and heard about the Drop-In Center. Now we want to invite you to virtually visit the other parts of this vibrant community. Thank you very much.
Wow, it's inspiring to hear from everyone that we did today. I want to give a special shout out to our young people, Mariana, Roy, and Chris. We're so grateful you're willing to share your stories with us. We are always richer when we stop and listen to one another. There is so much to celebrate, and I hope you feel a little more connected to all the work we're doing here at New Day. In the past 18 months, during this global pandemic, we've supported nearly 700 young people. We met them on the streets, in the drop-in center, in parks, at our youth shelter, and housing programs, and on Zoom. We dropped off care packages and educational materials to their front doors. And we showed up where they needed us most. Showing up during this time is more important than ever because so many other supports and services were closed or unavailable. And it meant that before we had a space like this, we had to be where young people were. We met them in our minivan to discuss behavioral health supports and on street corners to talk about housing. We developed a shelter within a shelter so the young people who were in our safe home would be safe when we brought new young people in. Everyone within our organization was taking personal risks to create safety for young people. We never closed and we never stopped our services, which is essential when we learned that recently the CDC shared that in the winter of 2021, young women between the ages of 11 and 17 had a 50% increase in suicide attempts. We forget sometimes that being a teenager and a young adult is hard during the best of times. There are so many changes to our bodies, hormones, us trying to find your voice and a sense of purpose. It can also be challenging for those who care and love for those young people. We often experience amnesia. We forget how difficult and challenging that time can be. As someone who's worked with teenagers and young people for over 20 years, I can still find it hard to know just the right words to say when those who are closest to me in my life are struggling. We all need support. All of you can think of a young person in your life or near you. And when we reflect on the CDC data, we know that a young person who is struggling is very close to us. We all need community. We need to know that other people see us and that there are the people there to support us when we're struggling. Over the next year, we want you to be part of our New Day community, and we want to be part of yours. There are young people out there who need us, and every single one of us knows someone that we can show up for. Please join us in using the hashtag #ShowUpForYouth and check out our social media to see how New Day is showing up for youth and giving you tips on how you can show up in your community. We want to find you, and we want you to find us. We also need your financial support. We need you to ensure that this beautiful space, that we can keep it going and maintain it, that we can offer food to support young people with their most basic needs. If you've never donated before, please consider donating today. Push the donate button and it'll take you through the steps. If you've donated before, consider increasing your donation or making it a monthly recurring donation. To donate right now, text New Day NM to 41444. Help us hit our goal for this event and for the entire year to ensure that all the amazing work you heard about today can continue on. Thank you so much for showing up with us today, and we look forward to partnering with you in the future. Thank you.